Opa, 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 pero ¿qué está pasando aquí? Nada, antes de empezar el episodio, solo quiero decirles que esta es la primera vez que se graba un capítulo de Pláticas Desconectadas totalmente en inglés. Así que si eres habla hispana y quieres entender completamente todo lo que estamos platicando, aquí abajo tienes la opción, tienes una ruedita en donde le puedes dar clic y de ahí clic en subtítulos y mandarlo en español. Así que eso es todo, espero que disfruten el capítulo y continuamos. Friends of the disconnected nation, welcome to a new Pláticas Desconectadas. Welcome to a new Pláticas feed. This time we have with us the Mañanas. Brandon, Danny, thank you for being here with us today. How are you guys? How are you feeling?
Good. Thank you for having us.
Yeah,
it's a pleasure.
Thank you for having me here, because basically you're the ones who are like giving me the whole space, and and I appreciate it. I appreciate it a lot, and I'm really excited because I recently saw your show, the Civic Center, and let me tell you guys, it was pretty cool. It was pretty badass.
Oh,
that's the word that I will give it. I like a lot the style. I like the style that you manage. You know, like how you dress, how how it has like that vintage feeling on it, and I just like really love it. And I wanted to start asking that when you founded the Mañanas, this was always the idea of like having this type of retro vibe, but like it's like pop rock, but at the same time it's like, you know, like this hi-fi feeling of like dirty, you know. How can you explain it?
Yeah, you kind of explained it really well.
Thank you.
That was the idea when we started it. I've always loved like the old sounding stuff, and when we teamed up, we found a way to still keep that old sound, but make it a bit more new and our own.
That's interesting, because so what like which influences will you say that you used like as for making like this branding or image of the Mañanas? Like 60s rock, 70s?
For sure. For sure, a lot of 60s rock, like the Stones, the Beatles, obviously.
Oh yeah.
So we have a lot of inspiration from bands from that era.
I see. Yeah. And then, like, for example, I know like I'm getting too ahead, but for example, La Plaga, that is like one of the greatest songs that I've heard in my life. And then I heard your cover of it, and it's so cool because it feels really appropriate for you guys. Like, it feels like it's a song that the Mañanas would play, you know?
Sure.
And how you made it, like, it's more like there's this rush, there's this like I don't know, it's way more powerful in the way of like how much like more you give. But the song by itself is already like super powerful, and by the time that it was made, it was like insane, right? Like my dad loves that song. He like he will say like that was the craziest thing in his time, right? You know, like La Plaga and stuff like that. And I just wanted to ask, what is the feeling of like playing this type of music, but at the same time, as you said, like trying to make it more modern? Is it complicated somehow, or do you find this like sweet spot where you feel comfortable already, like taking this to the Mañanas like version, like La Plaga, for example?
Yeah, no, it's a good question. Like, I think there's definitely like the, you know, you're scared of sometimes that,
like, it's a legacy song, you know.
Right.
Like,
you wanna respect the song and the history and stuff, but then you also don't want to like come off as like a cover band, I feel, too.
Of course,
because you know, like we're
just
not
like doing the same thing, like the same style, the same, you like not adding anything to it, right?
Exactly. So I think like when we recorded it, we made sure it sounded really big, like a modern production. So it is old influences and songwriting. That's our big thing. Like songwriting, I feel like a boomer sometimes because we say like they just don't make songs like they used to. So that's usually
Kinda
something
true.
that like we feel, and then like people are like definitely not listening to the stuff like your dad and then when you play it live especially, it's like that's super powerful.
That's like my dad's thinking. That's like the thinking of like, like it's not like before, like I don't know if you've heard about Los Iracundos, for example.
Yeah.
So for example, Iracundos are like an Uruguayan band, and they are like rock and roll, and they have like entire albums of just like instrumental rock, like they just do instrumental and stuff like that, and it's like pretty cool. And that's the stuff that he listens to. But then I'm like, you know what, you should listen to this modern artist that it's like there's no like, I guess, and part of it, and I think that's part of like the magic of the Mañanas too, is like just the feeling of like listening to the instruments, just like the pure instrument by itself, that like now we live in this overproduced world where everything is like edited and our voices and like now there's AI that like with whoever's voice you can make this song and shit like that is like so like
Patrick Star
singing
Soul.
Man, I heard a Joshi one singing this salsa song. I don't know, it's just so weird. We live in so like weird times, and it's nice to just listen to music made directly to the microphone, like from the guitars and the drums, and I really like that aspect of the Mañanas. I think it's part of the branding, the essence of it. It was always this. It was intended like this since always.
Well, it's funny that you say that because I'm really happy that you feel. It feels like that because
feels pure,
yeah, because the music is not like that, or at least a lot of the stuff we have recorded isn't
for real.
Because we're trying to get that where it sounds like a live band and all this, but like since we didn't live in this house up until a few months ago, like we just had a tiny apartment, so like we would have to plug in the guitar directly and like figure out the voices, so it's still very like modern production.
That's crazy.
But we wanted it to sound like, and then we would like reference like the Beatles and like their recordings, and just like it was a very like when you make a shirt or a jacket that's like patchwork, it's like it's all patched together in the perfect way that it sounds like that.
Man, that's insane, because as you heard me, like this is the feeling that I like, this was my assumption.
Yeah.
And that's great. That's exactly it. That talks a lot about like the production of the music by itself. It's like the intention is being done, and like people are like exactly receiving what you intended to do with the music.
For sure.
So the Mañanas was born in 2019, if I'm not wrong. I bet this was an idea that it was already in your heads way before that, probably, or maybe you were talking about it.
I think it was kind of around there, because we met each other at like then, so we didn't really know each other before.
Oh, in 19.
Yeah, 2020,
okay.
2019.
It's okay. I'm sorry. I'm just gonna. So you met each other in 19.
Yeah, and we met each other at a Nailma photo shoot.
Oh wow! Okay.
Because it was in Brandon's old apartment that he had downtown.
Okay.
So we became friends, and it was just when his last project kind of dissipated. So we became friends. We were hanging out. The pandemic happened. He didn't have a project anymore. I realized he's a great songwriter. So it was like the same relationship with me and Nailma, where like she's a great songwriter, he's a great songwriter, and I just like more like producing. And
that's crazy. I mean, it's just crazy because again, when I listen to it, I'm like, there's a lot of connection here between you two guys in the way you made the music, and it's like something that makes me think, or made me think that it was something that it was coming from probably years before that. But it's like the instant way of like you just getting together, being like, you know what, let's just do this.
I mean, but it's mostly his songwriting though, so I don't know how old some of the songs are.
For
Oh,
sure.
so you have, yeah, so you had these songs before.
I didn't have these specific songs. Like I wrote these specifically when we started.
Like, for
but
example,
yeah.
for the album Cheers, like, you had already songs from that album?
No,
Oh, no.
those
No.
were all like written
Oh, wow,
once
okay.
we met and started the
Oh, cool.
project.
Not even I knew that.
But yeah, I always liked that style of songwriting.
Okay.
I always like grabbed influence from like old rock and roll, a lot of doo-wop.
Yeah.
Yeah, music like that. So I was always into that style of writing, but it was cool starting the project and kind of finding a new sound specifically for us.
Yeah. Wow. Because I guess part of it is like exactly what you're saying is you can do this genre, you can do this type of music, but like at the end it's just like finding your own identity
For sure.
as a band, as an artist. And how both of you feel, because both of you, you're not from here, from the US. How do you feel like developing like the Mañanas by itself here with your backgrounds? How is it been? Is there has been any like clash on like maybe how the culture or maybe that has influenced somehow in the music too? What can you say about that?
Yeah, where I grew up in Germany, and there wasn't really a music scene there. So
That's interesting.
yeah,
You would
at
think
least
that is
where-
Europe, you know, and you would be like,
Right.
Europe music, yeah.
Right. You go to the bigger cities, there's like definitely a bigger scene like Cologne and Berlin.
Okay.
But where I was specifically, there was just like those jam bands at bars. You know,
Yeah.
things like that. So coming to the States and Denver specifically was super motivating to see like an actual scene. And then meeting Naoma and Danny definitely made me better too, because
When you got
they were
here?
I got here in 2016.
Okay.
So I've been here for 7 years. Yeah. But yeah, like I was saying, when I met them, they were so experienced and knew so much about how to operate as an artist. So I learned so much from them, and then getting inspired from like the scene. Yeah, it definitely helped push me to.
That's great. I mean, I remember having this conversation with Martin, your newest member.
Yeah.
And he was talking about like he was in New Orleans and then he got here, and the difference is that he found himself being part of something, you know, like being part of this this movement, I could call it like that, and just, you know, like the feeling of being part of something more than anything else. And I think that's like the base of you being able to like develop as an artist. I will guess I'm not an artist, I'm not a singer or anything like that, or a musician, but I feel like a lot of it is like just, you know, having your friends that share the same interests than you, and like just because, yes, just helping each other with no like actual like, you know, you want something in exchange or anything like that. And I think that's really important, and I've seen it in you guys as a group. I saw in you too, in Neoma, in Fuya Fuya, and Martin. I just see like a big group of musicians and friends, and, you know, like, and you all together are growing up in this scenario. And I wanted to ask about the US specifically, because like the clash and all of that, because I was reading this article about you guys. And there was this line about like how the U.S. feels like there's like a rat race, you know?
Yeah.
There's this like thing of like money, and we need to make more money, and how much money you do annually and shit like that. While like in Ecuador, for example, it's like so laid back, it's so like you just chill and you just, you know, you're just doing your thing, and
For sure.
and you're taking your pace. How do you feel with this environment, with the band, for example? Because I've heard, and for example, Neoma was telling me too, like, it's, you know, like there's times that you're growing and it's like I have to give more, I have to like be doing more, I have to be like, you know, like, it's this feeling. How are you feeling about that?
Yeah, I guess it's like a double-edged sword, because it sucks to have that feeling of the rat race. In Europe, it's similar. Like, it's very laid back and just about living life. But I guess that makes it easier to just be content with not doing as much.
Exactly. Sometimes you just let it go, and it's like you're. How do you say that? Like this, we say ser conformista. How do you say that?
Yeah, being conformist.
Conformist, right? I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
No,
just
for
like
sure.
that.
Right.
It is.
Yeah, it's like that double-edged sword. So, coming to the States, it definitely like lights a fire under your ass. So.
Yeah, and I mean, and I'm saying this because I feel like the Mañanas has because what? So from 2019 to now 2023, we're talking about already 4 years. You have 2 established albums that they're great. They're awesome. Cheers, I loved it. I had a feature with Danny like a year ago probably.
Yeah.
And one day I just like listened to old Cheers and I loved it, and that was the moment when I like felt the, you know, like the pure thing. I was like, are these guys just like playing the guitar in the microphone? But now I know it's not true.
Yeah, it's all fake.
I've been lied. I've been lied all this time, and that's okay. But and now you have 3,000. Congrats on 3,000.
Thank you.
It feels the. It's not. I don't want to say that like 3,000 is like an evolution or anything like that, but it feels like you are like going like more than like, how can I say? It's like, I'm sorry. It's more. It's not like, wow, this is better than this, right? It's not that. It's just like how like you as an artist, like you're going through this like stages, right? And 3,000 feels really like the Mañanas, but like there's some songs that I just feel it. Like I really like. I like that one of the, you know, like the love is just a veneno.
Yeah.
You know, and it's like I feel it. I feel it because there's lines there that like represent some part of my life basically. When I listen to Cheers, it's true. There's some stuff that is like, you know what? It's hard sometimes, but we like continue living. There's chances for this. There's chances for that. But the Mañanas feels more like now, like what I'm thinking now, than what I was thinking like 5 years ago. It feels more like the mature person who has gone through this, you know, and like has a perspective more calm about stuff and like has more objectively the thinking about like love, about like their lives, about like what does this mean, you know, like stuff like that. And I just wanna, I'm just really impressed. I really like 3,000 a lot, and congrats on that, on both of you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Carlitos.
I'm sorry.
Thank you.
And we'll be back after this break. Commercial break.
Tell me about the whole like, how did it start, the production of 3,000? Like, how long was this?
Well, it was right after Cheers, I guess. So like 2021,
Let's
let's say.
Let's just continue doing music, right?
Yeah, because at that point we had another guitarist, and we were just already playing live, like last summer, I guess. Last summer we were playing live, and we wanted to capture that. Like, okay, Cheers was made in the pandemic, and it's all like fake drums, you know, like everything just like home studio.
It doesn't seem like.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay.
And then, so we were like, okay, we want to capture more of the live band sound, but we still didn't have the space or the budget to do it. So thankfully, some of the songs we were able to record like in other studios, like CU Denver and our friends at Salt Lake Records.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, so it's kind of like still this patchwork, but it's like a bit more like real, a little more real. Like some drums are, like a lot of the drums are real. There's a lot of like live recording mixed with dubbing.
Feels more like I don't know how to say. It's like, no, it's, what's the word? It's like it has that the it's like it requires more like presence in the room. I don't know. It's like 3,000 is like, you feel that. For example, the drums are real, for example, right? And it is more, that word is not noisy, but it's like, you know, like it's like
No, yeah, it's noisy.
It talks to you, like, yeah. Okay. And like it captures your attention.
Thank you.
You know, it captures. It's like, listen to me. You know, something like that. That's what I feel like. Listen to me. And I wanted to start the 3000 topic with how you started like promoting it too. And this is something that we were talking off camera. I was like, I just love like a good like cinematic reference, you know, like I just love like how you did the whole like, oh, we have the suitcase, what's going on, what do we have in the suitcase, you know, like it's the mystery box element is always like really fun. So I just wanted to ask about that. Is there like any story intended behind that, like in the album, or like, you know, because sometimes that's what happens, like you have like a story in mind, and it's kind of like storytelling too, in the way of like, it's the music is telling something. The music is like, it has a pattern in the album that is 3000, and how do you connected it with like this reference that we were having? Like you're like all hitting off, like you are like bleeding and shit.
Yeah.
Like what happened there? What was that?
We were like up early one morning, and I had that idea, definitely a reference to Pulp Fiction. And then we brainstormed the thing, and then I think that night we recorded it.
You went to like a parking lot building.
And Fuya actually helped us shoot it and edit it.
Awesome video, awesome photos too.
Yeah, we got great photos. There was like no real message behind us being all beat up.
It's just your
just wanted it to be like very like cinematic, and like it was a movie coming out.
And the music, like that's like the type of music that Tarantino will put in a movie of his. You know, like a 70s, a 60ish rock,
right?
Pure raw, because like he goes violin. And then he starts like with raw stuff, and it's great. It's just great. I think he like complemented that well.
That's definitely our dream, to get into like a Wes Anderson or Tarantino film.
Wes Anderson one,
But with that suitcase video, we did do the suitcase and the mystery before Travis Scott did. So I just want to say that.
Yeah. You didn't copy. Yeah. I mean, it's okay. I just think it was a great addition to it. And it kept my attention. Like it's something that like it's good marketing. Basically, it's good marketing.
Yeah.
It's I liked it. I liked it a lot, and I was like, okay, so what does this has to do with the album, right? Like that was my questioning. But then, as you say, right, like it's just the concept of like. It's like this could be that time, like these people could be listening to this music, you know, because like that's the same type of style. How will you call this style? It has a name, like how will you call it?
Like the video?
How you dress, what you're singing, the type of music you're singing, like because for example, when I was reading about you guys, it was like power pop, garage rock. That's what it came out. That's how you consider it.
Yeah, I mean it's hard.
With the style and everything. It's because, for example, grunge. For example, maybe I'm like mixing myself, but like for example, grunge. I remember, of course, Kurt Cobain or whatever.
Yeah.
Right, and it's like he has like his pants. They were like old. You know, he dresses like just like oversized. He doesn't care. Like that's the style of it.
For sure.
How could we like identify this style here?
I guess power pop is like...
I've never heard about power pop.
It's not that popular, I feel.
Okay.
But it's like essentially 60s revival music. So like music that's inspired by the Beatles, everything that we are, but you're doing it now. That's power pop.
Power pop.
But then garage rock is also like the Strokes, like Arctic Monkeys. So there's a little more of that. So it's that, but then it's also hard because we're also our own vibe, because we really like to sound. I think like his songwriting sounds like very like cinematic. And how it ends up being. And so
it has storytelling on it, and I really appreciate that. That's another thing I was talking with Martin about. Like, I love music that has a story. Like I just love it. It's just like one of those things that I enjoy a lot. I love watching movies. I love I love a good story. You know,
For sure.
and now with music, like plus with the music and stuff, is like it's great. Like for me, on my top for music is always like a song with a story. Like those are the ones that I like memorize and stuff like that. Those are the ones that I really love. And I just want to ask how it comes that idea of the writing of the song. It's like, do you think about a story in specific, or you based it on lines, or what's up with that? Like how it comes?
Yeah, I always try to kind of base it off of like anything that's happening in my life at the time.
Okay.
And then try and find like a metaphor or a way to tell that story without directly saying
like an
words.
Analogy of it.
Yeah, exactly. And then just start messing around on the guitar, finding a melody, and just try to not overthink it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, that's the other thing I was reading about you guys. And like, for example, this article I read, it was the 303, and they were talking about like, you know, how they appreciate the simplicity, but it's like simplicity doesn't mean easy. It's like the opposite of that, because it's like when you do something, it's like you overthink everything, and it's like you want it to be perfect. And now if you want to come just like doing something like straight and simple, is hard. Like just like doing like a thing where like can convey all the stuff that you want to say in a simple way is like the hardest thing. I don't know, man. It's like
I agree.
Yeah, it's something that is, I don't know. I'm impressed with that, and I just think that the Mañanas has like a really bright future in that way, because it's distinctive. And I appreciate having that, like having, of course there's shit ton of options of music out there, right? But sometimes we're just like in a bubble of like the same music, you know, and it's always like super overproduced, and it's like the, you know, like the top 5 pop artists that you always hear about. And it's just like a fresh air, you know, it's a breath of fresh air. So
Cheers, Carlitos.
So yeah, man.
Cheers.
How's it going for you guys and the concerts and stuff? Are you enjoying it? How is it being now with 3,000 out?
Yeah, no, it's been the best season we've had.
For sure.
It's been super fun to play in Denver, like all summer, pretty much.
Okay.
All different types of shows, and we are, we want to travel more. You know, we want to go out of Denver because we kind of play here a lot. But no, we love it. You know, we're gonna try to do like a headline show in the fall, and we're still gonna do Shishmas.
Okay.
Our Christmas event.
I missed Christmas last year.
Yeah, no, we'll do it this year, and we're gonna do it a little earlier, so hopefully not too many people are like
doing October or something like that. But man, I'm in November. Probably I'm going to Ecuador again. So.
Oh no! Okay.
Yeah.
I think we're gonna try to film it more so you can watch.
Please, that would be great too.
Yeah.
Oh man, I would love watching something like that. Yeah, that's great. Yeah. So how about the music videos, guys? Because I checked the music videos. I was like watching your videos, and it's like it translates as your music too. Like there's songs like the one that you did with the green screen, you know, and you're like dancing with the disco and stuff. I love that stuff. It's like really good. And it feels really like nice just to see like how fun it is. Like you guys are having fun, basically. And I think that's nice, because as I was saying, like we always see like this overproduced stuff that like a lot of people just stresses about, and they just have to put out a product at the end of the day. And just seeing you guys having fun and just making it and like dancing around and like, you know, getting crazy with the guitars is just like cool. And do you have any like experience with music videos, or like do you have any like music video like that stands out, like about like any positive experience or any like thing that like stuck out for you guys?
Yeah, the first few videos when it was just Danny and I in the band, it was very DIY.
Yeah.
But also like we had the motto like nothing matters.
Okay.
Which basically just meant like to not overthink the projects. So the music as well as the actual videos themselves. So yeah.
Like you were not
Kids are
stressing, like, oh shit, it doesn't look that good or whatever. Like it was not that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, like there's definitely, I think we both used to like do video editing and stuff, but we were very hands off with those videos. There were like teams working on it, so it was definitely a good way to learn how to let go. And I feel like they aged well, like looking back at the videos, they're really fun. Especially like Lucia, we filmed that in a day. So
That's fun.
Yeah.
That's nice.
We moved like his whole living room. We just moved all the furniture, like taped the green screen.
Yeah.
Filmed it with the iPhone. Shot on iPhone.
yeah,
You know.
it's
And
like us dancing in my apartment.
yeah, and he had his dog, and his dog would like try to, get in the
Yeah.
shot, and he was just like, we had to stop and
That's
get the dog out of the way.
hilarious.
Yeah.
Man, yeah, and then like having that, and then like having, man, the names. I am always really bad with the names. The one that you have with the dancer.
Oh yeah, Bruna. Sooner than I thought.
Sooner than I thought.
Mhm.
Sooner than I thought. It's so different. Like it's like you go like that. What happened with that music video in particular? Like you went on like with a production company. Like what happened there? Because it's like really cinematic.
For sure.
It's like. I don't know. I really liked it too. What happened
Thanks.
there? Yeah, what was the process there?
No, that's my homie Carlos Armijos.
Okay.
From Ecuador. So he did a lot of videos for like for Naoma and for like my old bands and stuff. So yeah, I just reached out and I was like, yo, like we're trying to make a video of like have a dancer. That was kind of the idea.
Okay.
But in Denver, it wasn't really happening. So thankfully, we got the opportunity to work with Carlitos
That's
in
nice.
Ecuador.
That's
Mhm.
good. That's good. Any music videos coming out? Can I have a premise? Can I have an exclusive?
We were thinking about it for maybe
Mhm.
That's Love Veneno.
Ooh, that's,
Mhm.
I think that's my favorite song of 3000. I think
it's our
it is.
favorite, too.
I really
It's
like
mine
it.
too. Yeah.
Wow, look at that. That's a coincidence. But yeah, like
Uh-huh.
okay.
I think we might do a video with like the footage we have from Red Rocks, because we had a separate camera when we played
Yeah.
Red Rocks.
Okay.
So it might just be like a live video.
Oh, it's not the same camera that like you have in YouTube. the
yeah. On
presentation?
YouTube, there's like the full show,
The full thing, okay.
like the full like pro shot.
Mhm.
But we had Danny there who did the video for La Plaga.
Yeah.
So we might do something similar with some like behind the scenes of what that was and stuff.
Yeah.
So
Well, and yeah, and that comes to the next thing that I just wanted to congrat you guys about Red Rocks.
Mhm.
That's insane. Red
Thank
Rocks is such like a historic, like legendary scenario where like
Mhm.
shit ton of like great bands have played, and now the Mañanas to another great band has been there. How was that experience?
That was amazing.
Yeah.
That was definitely a dream come true for all of us. And like you said, just knowing all the bands that had played there, there's
Yeah,
like
man.
some energy once you show up. That's just unmatched.
So there was
compared to
no
others.
like you were no nervous guys or anything like that.
I feel like we were nervous when we showed up, but
Mhm.
once we sound checked, it just like felt.
You had a
right.
little shot or
Sounded-
something before the.
We did.
Oh, yeah.
A little
What
shot.
do you drink?
Tequila.
Oh, very nice. Very nice. Just like one shot.
just one
Yeah.
shot.
Yeah. Yeah, because then you can go to hell too, right?
Right.
Like,
Right.
and then on fly. Yeah, it's, you're like you can.
What's up, Red Rock?
1, 2, 3, you're like,
Yeah.
yeah.
And there's a lot of kids that day too. So,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah. You don't want them to see you drunk.
Yeah.
Right.
Noticeably
Yeah,
drunk.
yeah. It has happened to me. Kids have seen me drunk, and I'm not proud of it. But it happens, you know. Like
Yeah.
shit happens.
It's real life. You know. Get used to it.
Yeah, that's how it is, man. You know. So it was so crazy to see you guys there. I was like, damn, these people are going for it. You know, like you guys are going for it, and I just want to know how. So you were not nervous, right? Like once you got your shot and once you go out and like you felt that energy,
Mhm.
just went through.
Yeah.
Naoma once told me that she had this concert where she was nervous at the beginning,
Mhm.
and when she played, like it was like a blip.
Mm.
You know, like after the concert, it was like she didn't remember that well what happened. Has that ever happened to you guys? Maybe, I don't know if...
I think that happens every time for me. Like,
Oh, for real?
I kind of just like
you get possessed.
black out. Yeah, and it's like a different.
But if you remember now, for example, a concert, like, can you, like, you don't remember clearly?
Like, I do, but it's weird. While you're in it, it's like you're not even thinking about everything
You're just
you were
going, you're just
nervous
doing.
about. Yeah, you're just kind of.
And that's, well, we talked about this with you too. It was like about how you change in you know, in the scenario. How do you say scenario? No.
On stage?
On stage. How you change on stage, right? Like how, like, it's like you get possessed, or like it's like another person that is not me, and then like I'm back again to being me.
Right.
Is that always been the case? Like, have you felt that since the beginning?
I think it's different situations.
Or
you
just
know,
being used to it?
It depends on, I feel like, the crowd too.
Oh, okay.
Because I feel like the crowd is what changes. You know, you're like playing ping pong with the crowd. So when it's like Red Rocks and you have the Rocks that are energetic and you have like 9,000 people there, even if it's not, they're not there like just for you. Like they went to go watch.
They were there,
but they were there, and
they're listening to you.
Yeah, and it's a moment where, like, you know,
you have to get them. You know.
Yeah, you say like, "What's up? We're the Mañanas." You know,
yeah.
Hopefully they like it. But when it's a lot of people, or when like people are really energetic, like I feel like that's when you become transformed, and you're like rocking out even harder, and you're trying to just ping pong even faster. You know.
Yeah.
But sometimes there's other shows where it's just like people are chilling, or they're just watching you, and then it becomes, for me, like more like musical, like, okay, I'm gonna focus and play like really, really well. So, because you get that people are like actively listening. You know, like the show that you went to was kind of like that.
Yeah.
Like everyone's kind of on the grass. It was
and
really
either way, you
hot.
went hard at the end.
Yeah.
Like, either way, yeah. I feel like
we
you
were
made
on
the
9.
public. Yeah. No, yes. I need to go to like a crazy crowd.
Yeah.
To see how it goes, because have you ever had like how do you call that in English? We call it bogo. You know, the pete.
Mosh, the
Have
mosh.
you ever had the mosh situation happening?
Yeah. I feel like in
shit.
Denver it's not crazy though. The moshes are.
They're like.
They're like this.
Punching each other. Man.
Ecuadorians mosh all the time.
Oh man, yeah, it's hard.
Yeah,
so it's been good then.
It has been.
Yeah.
That's good. That's good. I'm glad, because I've heard stories about like people, like, you know, like having incidents in the middle of the concert, and then it's like you feel responsible because of it. I don't know, some stuff like that. It has never happened to you. Some experience, like, not negative, but like, you know, something that like it has stuck to you, like about concerts.
Maybe not at our shows. Everyone's pretty friendly.
Okay, that's good.
But I have been to some, like, you know, I used to be a lot more into like heavier genres, and
Like
I've been
metal
to
and stuff?
Yeah. I've been to shows where they like have like roundhouse kicked me, and then I'm just watching the rest of the show like this. So
In the ground.
and then I also went to like Governor's Ball in New York, and I saw like all like the rappers that are popular at the moment, you know, like a few years ago, and
People
those
getting
shows are
crazy.
like crazy.
People
So
get crazy with that, yeah.
so
I mean,
It's
guys.
alright,
I
you
mean,
know,
guys,
I
you're
like
going
it.
up, so who knows? And like maybe you
Mhm.
have to start thinking about like we don't want people to get hurt in our concert. I don't know.
yeah, I mean, I feel like the culture though is like
Well,
people
yeah.
generally mosh because they want to be there. you
That's
know?
true.
Yeah,
That's true. And if you get like a hit or something, it's like, well, I came for this. Like it's
Uh-huh.
like
yeah, it sucks. And
It
people
can
like
happen.
just, you know, need to stop throwing shit at artists. They need to be friendly, like help
Yeah.
each other out. You know, make sure no one passes out.
yeah, because I'm saying all of this because
Mhm.
even as I was saying that like you music, like you feel it, like it's like this rush to it, right?
Mhm.
Like your version of La Plaga, or like,
Yeah.
you know, like all these other songs, like Mirror. Well, Mirror is more calm. I like it. I like it a lot. I have that in my like list like some time ago, and it's just that, I mean, it's music that at the end, like, I would want one day maybe go to a pit with it.
Mhm.
You know, I would like. Well, no, I don't know. I don't know if I would do it personally, but like I feel like I would want it. but I will not do it because I'm old already, so I don't want to risk it. But you know, it can happen.
Yeah, yeah.
Stuff that can happen. Guys, this is just like, I want to see you again. I know you're having more concerts coming. Most probably this podcast will go out in 2 weeks because I have to subtitle it. So it's most probably coming out for like the beginning of August.
Okay.
Cool.
What are you having on August? Do you have plans for August?
Yeah, we're playing Sonic Guild in Fort Collins on the 5th.
August 5th.
Yeah, and then we're playing like a big festival at Civic Center again.
Oh, nice. Okay.
It's called Endless Sunshine,
Okay.
and Peach Pit is headlining it. The Velveteers are going to be there.
Oh, that's great.
So we're stoked to be on that bill. That's probably our next big show.
That's great. How have you seen the business here about music in general? Like, you guys, because it's basically you guys
Yeah.
who are like dealing with all this shit. Like, it's
Yeah.
like the music, producing it, the branding of it, the marketing, the you know, the public relations and stuff. How you've been seeing that, like, in the public relations situation here, for example, in Denver?
Yeah, it's definitely like a business.
Yeah.
And I feel like we make a really good team when it comes to the marketing side of it, the everything else.
You're good marketers.
But the music side of it.
Yeah.
Okay.
And we also have like a great agent that obviously helps us. But yeah, for the most part, we're doing all of it, or a lot of it.
That's crazy. So I bet, like, how much of your time takes a project? Like,
It's like a
all day,
full-time
every
job,
day? Yeah.
I would say. Yeah, you have to put in, like, between practicing and just thinking ahead. It's like a 40 hours a week type thing.
That's
Yeah.
insane.
Yeah.
That's a job. That's
Yeah.
that's
Right.
basically your job. Yeah,
It's a job,
yeah.
yeah.
You're working on it. Well, that's
Mhm.
great. I think the like, you notice that. Like, you notice that I was talking with my girlfriend when we saw you guys on the Civic Center, and I was like, you notice how they already like have their mind set up, like they already got it. You know, like, you guys are like connected somehow, and you start playing between yourself, as you were saying, like, you're like boom 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 boom, you're doing this, you know, with Neoma too, you're like playing and stuff, and it feels nice, it feels fun, and you notice that there has been hard work behind it. Like, it's not just like you just got together and you get to the stage and like no, like this, you notice like have like probably gone through like various like stages to getting where you are right now, and of course like you will continue going like this. Are you maybe like not afraid, but like, are you guys like maybe thinking that it could happen, or maybe it has happened, like this like overload probably of like having this project that is getting bigger and bigger? And have you had that, like maybe like being like, you know what, maybe we should like rest for a day, 2 days, you know, and just like
Yeah. Well, it's crazy right now because it's the summer, and you know the summer is like
well, yeah,
the high season.
this is the moment.
especially in the U.S. So
What about in winter? Like, you
But winter, it's
you're like, okay,
chill.
let's chill a little bit.
Yeah.
We can think about new lyrics. We can think about da da da. But because you never stop thinking about the Mañanas
Right.
either.
Right.
Yeah. So I'm just saying, because as I was saying, it's a big project. So it's like, it could happen. You know, like, it could happen that you just get overwhelmed
Yeah.
with so much shit.
Totally.
And
Yeah.
you know, like, it's just you're doing well right now about that.
Yeah, I think we're good at like taking breaks when we need them. I mean, working on 3000 was like a lot.
Yeah.
Um,
How long it took? Yeah, oh, okay. So you said after Cheers, you just started.
Pretty
3,000.
much.
So it's like what, like
Basically.
2 years and a half? 3?
Yeah,
2
'cause
years.
We were
Okay.
playing the songs live, and then they were on tour in Ecuador and Colombia, and then we took like a kind of a break. The guitarist left. Like, there were a lot of changes happening during that time. But yeah, closer to the album coming out, like actually working on like the production, which Danny does all of it, and the mastering and the recording itself, and then I design everything.
Do you
So
guys
that's,
sleep?
like-
We sleep a lot, actually.
Okay.
Like, yeah, we actually... Yeah, like today when you texted me, I woke up at 11:30.
That's great.
Yeah, we get our 12 hours
it,
in
right?
sometimes.
Right.
Yeah. But
That's another thing. It's a lot of energy that you're like giving. It's
Yeah.
like a lot.
Yeah. It's like nonstop.
It's exhausting,
kind of.
probably.
It's like every day. Yeah. But it's very fulfilling once we're playing the shows, once the music's out, and like doing stuff like this, and hearing like feedback from people definitely motivates us and makes us grateful.
Oh man, I just want to see
be
you
able to
guys
do it.
again. Yeah, like I really I liked it, but I knew that it was like probably not the best like crowd.
Yeah.
They were sitting, they were like chill.
It was hot.
And it's hot.
It was hot.
It's hot. It's
Yeah.
hot. Yeah, but yeah, I'm excited to see you guys again. I just wanna see what's next too with the Mañanas. I'm pretty sure great things are coming. Have you been thinking about the idea of the next album?
Oh yeah, yeah. Because Cheers, you know, the songs, they're old. You know, like they've been. We played them last summer, and then now we're playing them again because they're recorded and they got better and stuff. You know, they're new. But I'm always like that, and that's what I love about like being an indie artist. Because like we don't have any obligation except for like
You
the
don't have no
people
one
who support
to
us.
control or limit you and like somehow.
Right.
Like I'm naturally excited. Like I want to work on the new songs that he's showing me, and we're like collaborating with new people. And now we have this space where we can do a lot of live recording. So I want to like just hit record when we're all playing and warmed up.
That's great.
And I think it's gonna help us like put more stuff out.
Yeah.
I really want to just like not stop.
So you're going for a new album, or it's like, but how does it work? Because okay, I've seen like like artists drop like singles, and then it's like we drop the album, but it's with the singles that we had already. How's that like? How does that work for the Mañanas? Because 3000 went out. I remember Mirror Mirror, but like 3000 went out. Like most of it was new for me. Like I've never heard it. It's something like brand new, and that's like what part of like a style of a strategy or like what on the distribution of the music. Like let's just drop an entire album.
Yeah, there's a lot of ways to do it. It's a weird game right now. Like like marketing music is really
a game. That's
it's a game. So I mean, it's good to release singles because we released 5 singles. And 3000 has 9 songs, so like half the album
it's
what was in singles.
Yeah,
and 4 songs were on the album. But at the same time, like it's good to have singles, but an album is like a big deal, you know. Like
It's
when you
a
release
huge
the
deal,
album,
yeah,
it's a big deal. But maybe not everyone is listening to every song off the album too.
Yeah.
So it's like a balance.
like depending on what, but that depends on you guys on like maybe I don't know, I want to highlight this song, or maybe being like I want to highlight it because I think it will have more appeal to like certain target. Like
no man, singles are always like what the artists or their teams thinks are the best songs.
Yeah.
So that's the ones that you're like, oh, this turned out really dope.
Okay.
And I like to.
I bet it's hard because it's like the entire album is your baby, guys. It's like this is our baby,
right?
And or this is our family, right? And our babies are there in the album, and then like you're picking this baby, and the other baby's like, no, my baby. You know, like
totally.
But you know,
but you just feel it kind of like you're like, okay, this is a single.
And all parents have their favorite kids too, even though they say they don't.
That's true. Sadly, it's true. Well, I'm just the only son, so I don't feel it that much actually. I don't know if it's that nice. I don't know. Like I always had this pressure with my parents of like like you this because I'm the only one.
For sure. I never thought about that. Yeah, it's a lot of pressure.
Yeah.
I'm the middle child.
You're the middle. Okay. What about you?
I'm the baby. Of 5.
Okay, so when you were already here, it was already like, okay, more chiller with you probably?
Yeah, that's what my brothers tell me. They're like, oh you're so lucky. And like, I guess I'm like the spoiled baby, but... I'm the baby.
Yeah, no, that's good. That's good. It's
I'm
good
the
being,
baby.
it's good being the baby.
I'm the baby.
The baby. So, how did it start for you, Brandon, for example? Like, did you wanted, like, since little being a musician, or this was, like, a passion that started growing on you? How did that came to
Yeah,
what are you
when
now?
I was like a kid, I was always super into music. And then as I got older, when I was a teenager, I got into songwriting.
Okay.
And then after high school, I actually started being in a band. So it's a passion that kept growing. But yeah, I think I've always deep down wanted to be a rock star.
That's awesome. I mean, I remember wanting to be a rock star, but then it's like, nah.
It's
you know,
scary,
because it's
yeah.
work. It's
Right.
work. It's
Yeah.
scary.
Right.
You have to be good at something. Like, I was like always pressuring myself on guitar and like electric guitar, but I would be like, But why? Because as the difference with you, like, I didn't have that passion, like, going through, like, probably what for you and for you. I'm not asking this to Danny, because when I had the podcast with you, I watched videos of you, man. You look like a baby.
Yeah,
And he was
yeah,
already
yeah.
playing in, like,
I know.
high school and stuff.
Yeah, I think I've seen like literally videos of him as like
He's so
a
little.
child,
Yeah.
like playing in a band.
Like,
and I
you've
was like, damn,
always-
this guy's
yeah.
super experienced.
You've
It's probably
always-
second nature. To
Yeah.
him
Yeah.
now,
Exactly. Like, you've always been doing music.
Yeah, I'm like a circus freak.
Why you say that?
Because, you know, I've been doing it since I'm a kid. You know, usually the circus gets you when you're young. But I've been, I don't know, it's been a very blessed
Yeah.
life, I guess.
No,
Just always
that's-
being able to do music. And I've been in like 3 different scenes, you know, like Mississippi, Ecuador, now Denver, doing all different types of music.
Yeah.
And it's always been like this vibe, like with my homies. The scenes that I've been in are always like really fun.
Yeah.
So that's kind of why I keep doing it too.
That's great.
Yeah.
That's great. And how do you see it, both of you? How do you see it in the financial way? Like, I know it's hard. It's hard for artists to like actually like, you know, being able to like afford yourself, like to live with this. And I've seen many cases where like they just like get unmotivated about it and they have to drop it because like, you know, they have their jobs and probably this is at the end, this is giving you more than that. How do you not fight with that, but how do you deal with that? Like with the way of like probably, you know, like sometimes it's just like you have to have another work or job. I mean, you have to have another job or like, and like having that dual life.
Yeah, no, it's hard. You know, I think I'm very grateful because in Denver, there's definitely like, and in the U.S., there's definitely like more opportunity.
Yes,
you know,
of
to
course.
get paid,
Mm-hmm.
to play shows that pay and stuff like that, and people buy merch here, which is like
Yep.
huge. You know, like that's the best way to support artists is,
Mhm.
you know, get the shirt, get the CD, get the vinyl, because that just goes like straight to us.
Talking
essentially.
about that, I didn't found the merch that I want. Do you have merch here?
A little bit.
Okay, cool.
Okay.
We're talking
Yeah.
later because
Okay.
I wanted it. I wanted a shirt. I like the soccer ball one.
Nice.
Yeah.
So,
I think
yeah.
there's only like 3 of those left.
Oh, should
Are you a
you-
large?
Yeah.
Okay,
Fuck
perfect.
yeah.
Oh,
Fuck
yeah.
yeah. Well, we can
Sure.
see later. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. But yeah, I mean, I love that. I love that culture about the US. It's like when I got here first, I started to see bands and artists that I will never see in Ecuador, right?
Mhm.
And it's so easy, and sometimes it's cheap, and it's not always cheap, right?
Yeah.
And I just really appreciate music in general, and if I can support artists to like continue doing great shit, I will just do it. And I love just using merch. I don't know. I think I have like this thing of like I love having like merch. I don't know how to say
sure.
it. Do you have that, guys?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, same.
Especially
You know, like-
the bands you like.
yeah, it's like it's just cool. It's cool.
I would say like half of the T-shirts I have are
It's merch.
yeah for merch. Yeah.
No, that's awesome, and I like the style of your merch because it's that vintagey style, you
Yeah.
know, like the soccer perfect. I love that one. It's like,
Thank you, dude.
Yeah, it just reminds me all times, man. And it's just great. It's just like nice to have that identity. And yeah, I just want to end up asking you guys, first, I listened, both of you, and I listened that you were doing well. And I'm glad for that. I'm happy for that. And I hope it still being like that, right? And like whatever inspires you to continue doing music, like grows more in you. I don't know if you want to guys talk about like, we know now that like there's like maybe a new album cooking up there. There's concerts that are coming. Is there something else that you want to tell us? Do you want to tell your fans here in Denver about the Mañanas that maybe I'm missing to ask?
I guess just check us out.
Yeah.
If you haven't. For those who have, thank you. Appreciate all the kind words.
Thank you.
And
Thank you for great music.
yeah, super cool to hear. And yeah, we're not done yet.
Oh yeah, you're just starting.
Yeah, we're just starting.
You're just starting, guys. You're two jovencitos, you know. Like you're great. I mean, I just like that. I just like the spirit of it, you know. And I think you're just starting. This is just like the beginning. Red Rocks is just like, you know, the demonstration of that. Like you're going big, and I'm just really happy to have you here. I feel honored about that, and I just hope we can like repeat it sometime else. Like, you know,
Would love to.
I don't know if you get too famous and then like you
Never,
know, like
never,
I'm gonna be
never,
like,
never.
hey, do you remember me?
Yeah, right.
No.
But yeah, guys, where we can follow you?
Well, I think we mostly do Instagram to be like real. So if you guys want to follow the Mañanas band, we use Instagram a lot, but we're everywhere.
Is it complicated for okay? I just now that you said the handle, it's something that it has been capturing my curiosity, and it's like how you have been dealing with the ñ situation.
It's a funny situation.
Yeah, it's hilarious
It's
in
like
the
the
States.
Mañanas.
It's a very punk rock thing to do in the U.S. I feel.
Super punk rock, I would say.
Because it doesn't exist here in the
No.
English language, you know.
We've played Bluebird and we're the Mañanas.
And
In big letters.
and with you, the Mañanas.
But we've got
people are like catchy.
Yeah.
Mañanas.
Or like the first time we were on radio, it like cut out the name, so we were just the Ma, and that's been our kind of nickname.
I like
since
it.
that,
Yeah, the
like
Ma.
the Ma, the big Ma.
The Ma. But so when you made the name of the band, you thought about this, of course.
Mhm.
You were like, okay, we're in Denver, people talking in English here. We're putting a ñ there.
Yeah.
That was just for being punk, for being a punk rock.
We knew what we were doing. I think.
Yeah.
No,
We
I bet.
wanted to
I
do-
bet. It feels on purpose.
Yeah.
It feels super on purpose.
Yeah. It was really hard to find a band name that wasn't taken.
That's like super Hispanic,
That's
you know,
the
having
something.
the ñ.
And then the ñ, yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
We were in between the Manzanas and the Mañanas. Really,
Okay.
Yeah, really happy we chose. the
Yeah.
Mañanas.
yeah. I love it. I like the
Yeah.
Mañanas, and yeah, and it's like, as you were saying, you know, like there's so many bands that like whatever, but then you go and you put Mañanas, that is like such a like Hispanic like word.
Yeah, and then he's also writing. He's been writing like his first Spanish songs too.
Oh shit!
Yeah.
So
Heck yeah!
sharing that with
Awesome.
Estado Desconectado. You
Yeah,
know.
nice. Thank
There's
you.
gonna be more
Exclusive.
Spanish original.
Yes.
Mhm.
For real.
Mhm.
So for the next album can be like a mixed situation.
For sure. Just like the name. the
Yeah.
Mañanas, it'll be a
Yeah. I mean,
Spanish vibe.
you have bilingual stuff,
For sure.
and that's great. I like that. I just like the mixing and like just showing people that you can just do whatever the fuck you want with language. You know,
Yeah.
because at the end, if they understand you, what the fuck, like you understand it.
Yeah.
You know, and that's pretty punk too. And congrats.
Thank you.
Congrats in everything, and
Thank you, man.
Thank you very much for being here at the podcast. Thank you, all of you. So fun fact. Well, it's not a fun fact. It's just a fact that my public is all in Spanish. So what I'm gonna be doing here is like I'm gonna like subtitle everything that we're talking right now.
Cool.
But of course, like I'm gonna go for Denver target. Like this is like a Denver thing, and this is like a US thing because
For sure.
I mean, even with all of this that what I'm saying, I hope one day I can listen that you're going to Ecuador, for example.
Yeah, no.
And
that's
that
our
would
dream.
be fucking awesome because a lot of people will love it in Ecuador. And I feel like, you know, it's just like something that is really nice to have, like representation and just showing that like there's a lot of talents in other places that it's just not the US.
Yeah, and rock and roll is like alive and well
It's
in
universal.
Ecuador.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah.
Mhm.
Oh yeah. It's pretty much alive. Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, thank you guys again, and
you.
well, hopefully we have another conversation soon.
Yeah.
Okay, that's it.
Cheers.
Thank you.
Cheers.
Peace, guys. Bye. Great. That was great.
Awesome.
Whatever I said, and like I don't know, you know, it's my second language, so
No, you did great,
Oh,
Cody.
yeah, you're
Thanks.
amazing.
thank you.